Hello everyone, welcome to my apartment kitchen, the place where I have to get creative and I have to make compromises, and I want to share with you some different design dilemmas, you could say, for this space and how I've tried to overcome a lot of it. Although this kitchen has a lot of design quirks, I've actually never cooked so much in a kitchen in my life. And I think that is part of the reason why I have some specific things that I dislike about it. There's not enough storage here, and that's like a big thing that I would have noticed whether I was cooking a lot or not. I think now that I'm more familiar with what I need a kitchen to do for me, I understand the little things of this is awfully annoying to not have these kinds of things. So the first thing I want to talk about are the cabinets. These are tall. I am a short person, I'm 5'1", but can you see how these cabinets are nearly over my head? I used to be a custom cabinet designer, and the rule of thumb was kind of 15 inches above the countertop. If we had a super tall client who wanted more space, then we would start cabinets at about 18 inches. And these bad boys are literally 24 inches. There are two whole feet here of space. So being a short person, that doesn't work very well for me. I literally have to be a rock climber to get to those mugs up there. And even this second shelf is not very easy. Getting one of these top bowls is barely doable. To put away the dishes, to get dishes, I am nearly always grabbing this chair and climbing on top and then bringing something down with me. So not lovely. And my partner's like,
should we use a step stool?
Honey, a 6 to 8 inch step stool is not gonna get me up there. The second shelf, sure, that could be potentially easier, but it's not really gonna fix the problem. I actually ended up finding an 11.5-inch step stool on Facebook Marketplace made of solid wood. I love it. It's super old. And so I wanted to apologize to my partner. I stand corrected. A tall step stool is actually very, very helpful. So noted. But I will thank it for giving me an upper body workout all the time. So, go less to the gym, spend more time in the kitchen, get that in. Who's the real winner here, I will say, when I was prepping for this video, I did notice I was oh, maybe I can change the height of some of these shelves. And so I started to do it. I even filmed me trying to do this. And I had to literally take off the cabinet doors to move these. The way that the mechanism is that holds in the shelf, it doesn't actually let me just pop it up from the bottom and move it. And I was not feeling ambitious enough to take off the cabinet doors to move those. Maybe I will, but I think probably not. I already said a little bit that there's not a lot of storage in this kitchen. So we have one main upper cabinet. We have some smaller upper cabinets that are half of this size. There are things in there. We're using all the space we have, but not great. Lower cabinets, all we have is the sink cabinet where we keep all the gross sink cleaning related shit. And then our island is pretty much all open except for this one bank of drawers. So that is not a lot of space. What we do have is never-ending backsplash because we're supposed to have more cabinets. So this is plenty of backsplash, but also backsplash, As you might be able to tell, we have put our backsplash to use. Because we don't have a lot of space, we're trying to use as much vertical space as possible here. And when you don't have cabinet as vertical space, you have to get even more creative. Usually we have two pans hanging over here. One of them's dirty, so there's that. We have our knives. So magnets were huge for us when we moved in. We have this magnetic knife, I was gonna say rack, strip thing. So I love having that. And then over here on our fridge, we also have all of our spices that are magnetic. That one's actually empty. All of our spices live over there, which is actually quite convenient because it's right next to the range. They're very accessible and very easy. I would have preferred more cabinet space, but we make it work, and I think pretty good job. The one thing that I knew the day that we moved into this apartment, the very first day we moved into this apartment, that was going to bother me is the way our fridge door swings. If you just look at our kitchen, if you're a designer, I don't know if everyone would feel like this, but it makes sense to open this way. Close that off because there's nothing over there. But no, our fridge very awkwardly opens this way. There's just windows here. There's no reason for that. Yeah, it's practically, it's like a practical joke. When we first moved in, our freezer or something wasn't working properly and they had to come fix it. And I literally asked them, like the first week that we lived here when they were fixing that, I was like,
could you just actually like switch out our fridges so I can get one that swings this way?
And they refused. They were trying to tell me that like the plumbing wouldn't allow for that, which maybe is the case. I really don't know, but it just seemed like a bullshit answer. So I was just like, but really, this would make my life so much better. And then like maybe whoever you switch it out with will also have a better life. So it's like a dance to put away the groceries. They go here, but the door, that corner shouldn't feel as messy as it does when trying to operate with the fridge. My notes I put, it's like a dance, a very poorly choreographed, mildly infuriating dance. When my dad came to visit us for the first time, he picked up on that in his visit. He was like, why does your fridge swing that way? And it really validated my feelings. So that is all of our kitchen space. We actually outsourced most of our storage and non-refrigerated food into this like weird hallway area that we have. There's just like this random dead space. So we got a like pantry essentially. Works pretty well. It's just a little bit of a walk, but that we really didn't have a choice otherwise. There was gonna be nowhere else for us to really store things. So yeah, my kitchen definitely has some issues, but like I said, I've never cooked more in my life. I spend a lot of time in this area and I really enjoy it, which is like very odd to hear me say that I enjoy cooking and that I enjoy the space so much, even with all of its like quirks and flaws. I am glad that I'm now much more aware of like how I want a kitchen to operate for me. Now I can just like be looking on Pinterest and for my future dream house or whatever and see the components that like really stick out to me. I already do this, but now being in this space, I think, and doing an activity in this space that I wasn't doing very regularly has given me even more of a perspective of how to make it functional for me personally. I can generally envision how a space should function. I understand how cooking works. I know how people operate in this space, but the like little things for me of like, yeah, I really don't like there being like nothing on this side. I didn't like it beforehand, I knew that, but now I really understand like why that is such a deterrent for me while I'm cooking. But like the lighting in this kitchen is amazing. The fact that we have an island and we sit like across from each other, that is my favorite thing about this kitchen, is that the island is set up like a table. So we're not always sitting right next to each other. We're sitting across eating every single meal. And I've really enjoyed that specific part of this kitchen the most. So thanks for listening to all my complaining. Glad I could end it off on a high note there. I didn't even think to incorporate that positive, if you will. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.